Happy Thursday, everybody. It's John with ACTION-FLIX.com coming at you on another live Action-Fix podcast. We are live. It is 11:30 Central Time where I am at in Panama City, Florida, 12:30 Eastern Time. I wanted to actually do the weekly intel a few days ago, but of course things have been happening with my shoulder, going to doctor's appointments, dealing with all that stressful stuff. So I had to put it on hold for a little bit. But in the meantime, as I put it on hold, a few things have popped up on the weekly intel here that I'll be able to talk about today. So I'm rather excited. First of all, let me say that tonight on That Fat Samurai Guy's channel, the great Fat Samurai Guy, he's going to be doing another versus episode where they debate between movies and say which one is better. And I was actually supposed to be on the last one they did where they talked about The Raid and John Wick Chapter 4, but I was unable to make it, of course, because of, once again, things happening in my life. But I am definitely going to be here tonight for this one on That Fat Samurai Guys versus episode, because we are going to be talking about the state. That's right. Jason Statham. We're going to be debating which one is better, his original The Transporter movie, which pretty much put him into the echelon of action cinema, or his most recent output, The Beekeeper, which is considered probably, if not his best, one of his best input into action cinema. So it's going to be a definite thrilling time because I get to talk about one of my favorite action stars, Jason Statham. I already know what I'm going to say, and I hope people have a difference of opinion, because it's always more fun when people have a difference of opinion. But let's get started with the weekly intel. So the biggest thing that happened over the weekend, this was kind of funny though, because this happened over the weekend. Usually nothing happens over the weekend. Like everything is like Monday to Friday. So usually when Friday hits, I'm kind of like, good, I could take the weekend off, unless I do something like a review for a movie or something, or do a special article for an action rewind that I haven't done in several ages. But waking up Saturday morning to this was kind of cool, actually, because I woke up Saturday morning thinking nothing was going to happen, and then this happened. Bam! Scott Adkins, the action star himself. We have been talking a lot about Scott Adkins lately, because he's in the new movie Lights Out, although he's not in it a lot. I've already stressed that. But he is in it with the great Frank Grillo. He was just recently seen in One More Shot, his wonderful sequel to One Shot, which is the continuous take action film franchise. And then, of course, he's filming Diablo right now with the great Marco Zaror. So they're reuniting. And then, of course, he filmed Skyline Warpath with Eco US, which reunites him with his triple threat co-star. But now Mr. Adkins is joining the cast of the long-awaited Kickboxer Armageddon. Yes, Kickboxer Armageddon. Oh boy, is this going to be exciting. Here's some of the images I put up on my site. Now let me show you, right now. Here, look at this. Right now, that's the image that was teased for Alan Moussi. He plays Kurt Sloan, the great Alan Moussi, who's an action star in his own right, has been doing the Kickboxer movies, as well as Jiu-Jitsu, and most recently King of Killers. Let me bring up another image here in a second. This is a much better view of him. Yeah, so he's got scars and tattoos, his hair is braided and everything. And that was the image that they were teasing he was going to look like when they first announced Kickboxer Armageddon was going to happen. So I'm hoping they keep that look, because he's supposed to be off the rails in this one. A lot of shit's happened to Kurt Sloan since we last saw him at Kickboxer Retaliation, and he needs to keep that look, because it's badass. Because I think, because it's different from what he's looked like in the first. He had his haircut, he looked normal and everything, but now he just looks like a badass martial arts killing machine. So the Hollywood Reporter broke the news over the weekend that Scott Adkins is going to be joining Kickboxer Armageddon. And not only is he going to be joining Kickboxer Armageddon, he is going to play the bad guy. That's right. He is going to be the main heavy in the movie. So you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get a climatic battle of martial arts action stars with Scott Adkins taking on Alan Musi in Kickboxer Armageddon. Ooh, I cannot wait. So that right there, it's just like when like movies like this are announced, you want to watch it like yesterday. And they haven't even filmed the movie. It's not supposed to start filming until like around the summer sometime. So we have a wait, unfortunately. Wow, do we have a wait? So it's definitely not going to come out until next year. I'm going to say probably like later in the year. Oh, too bad, because that would have been exciting to see this year. Like, with the not a lot of stuff happening. But here we go. Per THR, the Hollywood Reporter, Atkins will portray the coveted villain role of Caesar, who is a sadistic leader of a cult known as the REG, or the Royal Elite Guard. It's said that Caesar has a rather ruthless philosophy for his disciples in that you only learn through pain. Doesn't that sound exciting? So basically, what it's going to look like is he's going to be like Yuri Borka on steroids. So we all know Yuri Borka was a villain to start off the Undisputed, when he was an Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing, he was the bad guy. But then he switched over to the anti-hero role with Undisputed 3 Redemption, and of course Boyka Undisputed 4. So yeah, so him playing the bad guy is fine with me. I am good with that, because a lot of people complain a lot of times, like when he's a bad guy, because he's played more good guys than he's played bad guys. And if anybody's watching, I see some of you guys are watching the Weekly Intel. We're live now on YouTube as well as Facebook and X or Twitter. I don't know, whoever calls it. I have no clue anymore. It's an X. I still call it Twitter, because when you say X, it just sounds stupid. I mean, Elon Musk, it's like, what? But anyways, we're live on that. So yeah, I'm okay with it, because he plays good bad guys. He was in Triple Threat. He played the bad guy in Triple Threat. Did a great job. Had a great fight with Tony Jaa at the end of the film. So yeah, so either whether he's playing the good guy, the bad guy, or an anti-hero, which is kind of in between, Scott Adkins has been crushing it. So it doesn't really matter, as long as we get to see some extreme martial arts battle action between the two, because we all know both of them. Even though, I know Adkins is in his upper 40s right now, and even Ala Musi, he's not that old yet, but I mean, these guys, age is just a number. So I'm hoping that they get some really kick-ass fight choreography, which, I mean, you're not going to have these two go against each other and not have like tornadoes spinning around your screen when the final fight takes place at the end of the movie, let me tell you. So I am super excited for that. Now, we also have other Scott Adkins news in his movie Take Cover, which was directed by Nick McKinless, who is another stunt professional turned filmmaker, directed this one. And this one's a little bit more interesting. And this one's going to be released this year, I'm assuming. Signature Entertainment took it to the European film market for potential distribution buyers, and I'm sure it's gobbled up. So Scott Adkins stars as a burnt out sniper who has to fight another sniper. But the only problem is he's in a house or a building that is all glass. So there's nowhere for him to hide. So he's got a sniper taking aim at him, and he's got to do whatever he has to do to survive. So is he going to have a fight scene in it, or multiple fight scenes? I mean, we won't know until we see a trailer or, the action movie. But that's okay, because, it's still going to be an action movie. And again, Scott Adkins is doing some different things. So that's going to be kind of cool too to see. So Take Cover. And this is a new image with Scott Adkins, taking aim there in that image for Take Cover that Signature Entertainment released that I put in my article. So that's kind of cool. So here's the thing with that. Like I said, I don't think it's not going to be like Kickboxer Armageddon, where he's going to be doing tornado kicks and Guyver kicks and all that stuff. But it is what it is, and we are going to still get some signature Adkins action. If you guys watched my if you guys watched my review for Lights Out, I've coined the phrase at signature Adkins action. Say that 10 times fast, because holy cow, that's a tricky one, let me tell you. So he's got Take Cover coming out. He's going to be filming Kickboxer Armageddon this summer. He's got Skyline Warpath that has already been filmed and is in post production. So when that comes out, it's too hard to say end of the year, maybe. But like with a lot of these movies, they take the time to come out. So I'm not looking for it till 2025, like especially Kickboxer Armageddon. But we all know Kickboxer Armageddon. Alan Musi and director Dimitri Logothetis put it on the back burner. They were going to do it, which Kickboxer Armageddon finishes the trilogy of the Kickboxer reboot film. So this is supposed to be the last one in the franchise. But they wanted to do different things. They were kind of burnt out from it. So they were like, hey, we're going to do it. It's just we want to do some other things. So, of course, they teamed up with Jiu-Jitsu, which was based off a comic book that they created. And, of course, Alan Musi did King of Killers. So they did some different stuff in the meantime. But now they're coming back to it. And now they've added Scott Adkins to the fold. And, is he going to look like this? We don't know. Maybe, he might have a Yuri Boyko look going on, but we definitely know he's going to be sadistic, which is very, 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 very cool. All right, now let's talk about some other good news here. And I just actually wrote an article for this right before I came on the air. This hit yesterday, actually. So I was a little late in posting it. So we have Lionsgate switching up release dates. That's right. So the John Wick spinoff film, Ballerina, which stars Arana de Armas, was supposed to come out this June 7th. So we were supposed to get the John Wick spinoff film Ballerina starring Ana de Armas this June. But now that is not going to happen. They pushed it back, kind of like what they did with John Wick Chapter 4. If you guys remember when they announced it, then it was pushed all the way to another year because I believe it was because of the pandemic at that time. So so just like that, we have another year and a half to wait for it. So as I shake my camera. So so am I bummed? Kind of, because I was kind of getting excited for it. Now, here's the deal why they did it. Now, some people are going to say that it's a troubled production now because they are delaying the film because they want to shoot more additional action sequences for it. But before everybody, jumps off a cliff, they were already saying that the movie as is was good. It was a good movie worthy of the John Wick name, but they want to make it even better. And the quote they used was additional action sequences for the movie to amp it up even more than it is. So Chad Stahelski, who was recently, Lionsgate recently made him the overseer of the John Wick franchise, which includes the John Wick films, as well as all the spinoffs and everything, as well as the Highlander movie that he's doing. He's been brought on to work with the director, Len Wiseman, to make even more action sequences. Probably, so Anna is probably coming back to film some more action sequences. And so we're going to get even additional action sequences for Ballerina. So it's a win. I mean, come on. It's like, they're just going to make it better. Like, how can you make something better? By putting in more action sequences. How many times have I complained where they took an action sequence out, or they release a movie on Blu-ray and then they're like, oh, here's a deleted action sequence from the movie. I'm like, why didn't you put that in there? So instead of them deleting action sequences and them showing up on deleted scenes on a Blu-ray release, this is going to be additional action sequences that will even make it better than it already was. Now, that means The Crow, the reboot with Bill Skarsgård, which probably didn't really need to be made at all because we already talked about this. If you watched my appearance on Owen Frill of the Action Elite, we talked about this on his Action Elite Live. We talked about The Crow 30th anniversary. It's a masterpiece, basically, in terms of the genre. We consider it a masterpiece. Now, of course, there's people that have, denied that claim, but, I can't help you. But did it need to be made? This was in development hell for the longest time. We've had so many directors step off. Jason Momoa was attached to star in it at one time before they got Bill Skarsgård to do it. Then this picture right here, I believe that's fan art that I used, for the movie. So that's not, official key art for The Crow, but I liked it, so I put it in there. I mean, that's him all make-uped up like, Brandon Lee was in the original. So so now that movie is going to take the place of Ballerina's June 7th release this year. So that means we're going to get The Crow even sooner. but it's already almost March, so they better start. I put this in the article. They better start advertising. That we better see a trailer, like if not this week, definitely next week. And they got to hype it up because it's only like 3 months away. So the plot synopsis for the Crow remake says soulmates Eric Draven Skarsgård and Shelley Webster, FKA Twigs, are brutally murdered when the demons of her dark past catch up with them. Given the chance to save his true love by sacrificing himself, Eric sets out to seek merciless revenge on their killers, traversing the worlds of the living and the dead to put the wrong things right. So so there you go. So like I said, does it need to be made? I don't know, but we're getting it anyways. And then I always, like I said, I always refrain judgment till I see footage. And I said, and I kind of dropped the ball with the Roadhouse remake because when it was first announced, I kind of called it a dumpster fire. And a lot of people still think it is. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, this looks good. I mean, can I like this movie and the original one with Patrick Swayze? Yes, I think I can. I'm not saying that it's going to take the place in my heart of the original. I'm saying I can like that remake with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor and still love the original. So you see what I did there? I said like the remake and love the original. It can happen. It's like you could be a Marvel and a DC fan all at the same time. You don't have to pick just one, people. It's not like you're cheating on Patrick Swayze and his Dalton with Roadhouse. But if you like the remake, it's like it's not. He'll forgive you. If he was still alive. The late great Patrick Swayze. So that was another big thing that was announced yesterday. So they're switching up. So we got Ballerina coming next year, June 6th, 2025. And now The Crow swoops in, pardon the pun, and takes the June 7th release date that was formerly reserved for Ballerina. So we have a longer wait for Ballerina, but a lesser wait for The Crow. So, I mean, you can kind of look at that because I know people are dying to see The Crow. Even if you've been ripping on it and saying, and throwing your hands up in the air and screaming to the gods of action cinema, you're still going to watch it. That's all I got to say. You're still going to watch it. And if you don't, then you're not an action fan because you're still going to watch it. You're still going to watch the Roadhouse remake. Now, you're still going to watch it, and then you can rip it apart if you want to, which is fine, or like it. It might surprise you. Who knows? We don't know. You have to see the damn movie. I just hate when people make their judgments even before the frickin' trailer came out. It's like, come on. It's like, they're like, oh, this could be the worst movie ever. I'm like, really? The worst movie ever? Out of the whole history of cinema in the world, the worst movie ever. Okay, that's a pretty big boast there, big guy. So I love when people say that, though. So there you go. So that's another big news. Couple other things we got going on. This was like not the greatest. I mean, and it is. I mean, but it's kind of underwhelming in terms of Scott Adkins joining Kickboxer Armageddon and the Crow and the Ballerina. But we also get this movie, which is called Strawweight, which sounds kind of interesting. And I'm going to put it up here for you guys. It stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Lupita Nyong'o. And it's an MMA-infused sports drama. So it's a movie. It's called Strawweight, which is, a weight division in women's mixed martial arts, where these two are going to fight each other for totally different reasons. So you got Chloe, who's an up-and-comer. So here's the synopsis. It follows the journey of two fighters who find themselves competing against each other in the octagon. One is a young woman, Moretz, whose life has changed forever when she discovers her passion for the UFC, while the other is a former champion, Nyong'o, who is determined to reclaim her title by reinventing herself. Both want the same thing, respect, but only one can come out on top. So basically you got the up-and-comer taking on the former champion. So that's kind of cool. And we haven't had any really traditional mixed martial arts movies. We had Warrior, which I love, one of my favorite movies of all time. We had Bruised with Halle Berry, which came out on Netflix, but that kind of came and went. If I still haven't even seen it. I have not watched Bruised with Halle Berry. And not because I never wanted to. It just is one of those things that's just slipped through my fingers, like with my life and everything that was going on. So I will check it out one day. I mean, I have Netflix, so I will check it out. But so usually when we get MMA films, they're like comic bookish, it's like underground fight movies, that type of thing. So this is another traditional in terms of warrior, but with the ladies taking over, which is kind of cool. So I'm excited for it. I mean, anytime you get to see, MMA action, that's always a good thing. So yeah, so there you go. There's my weekly intel for today. So I'm not going to have a long stream today because I'm doing that Fat Samurai guys versus tonight. So I want to conserve my energy. Plus, my shoulder is killing me. I had my MRI yesterday and my follow up tomorrow. So tomorrow is when they're going to tell me, yeah, I'm probably going to need surgery. I'm fighting with the people at, for my LOA, so that's not fun. So yeah, so it's like if I had any hair, I'd be ripping it out right now. And I'm losing my voice because that's usually what happens when I talk a lot. So it takes a swig from my Pepsi. Let me tell you, since I've been separated, I am drinking a lot of soda. I am sorry. But hey, you know what? It's better than alcohol or doing drugs. So, yes. So, that's pretty much all the biggest news that's been coming out. Now, I also wanted to go over a couple of the last two reviews that I did. So, one was for the movie that I was excited when it was first announced, called Land of Bad, which stars Chris Hemsworth's brother, or brothers, Liam Hemsworth and Luke Hemsworth, as well as the great Russell Crowe, and Air Force One down. Okay. I've already taken flack for Air Force One down, and I knew it. Here's the thing. Let me talk to you guys about this, okay? Comment if you want to. Have you ever had your expectation level set at 0 or even less than 0 for a movie? I'd already watched Land of Bad. I had already done a review for Land of Bad, and I'll talk about that movie in a couple minutes. So I was like, what to watch now? So then I saw on Vudu, or Vudu's now becoming Fandango at home. So they're getting Vudu's going away. It's going to be Fandango at home, but you're still going to have your collections and everything. So they're just Fandango's just taking over, which I'm fine with as long as they still do the same things they were doing when it was Vudu. So I was like, Catherine McNamara. I'm like, huh. Now, Catherine McNamara, she's done a lot of rom-coms and television shows and stuff like that, but she was in the short-lived Walker Independence series, which was a prequel to the Walker that we're getting now, which I have not really watched because it's not my Walker, but that's besides the point. But I did check out Walker Independence because I like Westerns, and she did a pretty good job in it. She, it's a let dirty Western, and she did pretty good in it. So I'm like, huh. So here she is, Catherine McNamara. So, let me hang on a second. Let me find it. I'm going to pull it up because I have to pull up my review of it. And as soon as I posted it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get some people coming at me for this one. But I don't care because, like I said, my expectations were set to 0, less than 0. And I liked it a lot. Boy, did I like it a lot. And here's why. Okay, I call it, the title of my review is Air Force One down. Catherine McNamara takes him down in the surprise action of 2024. It is. It surprised the hell out of me. We've had The Beekeeper. We've had Land of Bad. We've had some pretty good action movies this year. This movie, I didn't even do a trailer post for. Again, this is another movie that slipped under my radar. And McNamara plays Allison Miles, who's a Marine soldier. Yes, there are women in the military, men. So when you come in with the argument about that, you're just dumb. So yeah, so the movie starts out with her in a training exercise, and she's beating guys up. And again, yes, that can happen too. It can. So she gets recruited by her uncle, played by the great Anthony Michael Hall, who I love. Anthony Michael Hall has been around for a long time. We all know him from the 80s, with 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club. He was doing those teen comedies. But then he reinvented himself, by doing drama and action and all kinds of good stuff. He's great. And he's great in this. He's not in the movie a lot, but he is probably in the first third of the movie. So he plays the head of the Secret Service, and he is her uncle. And what I love is his name's Sam. So he's actually her Uncle Sam. Get it? Uncle Sam? I loved it. I love how they did that. But he recruits her into the Secret Service. And of course, at first she's on donut duty where she's just basically giving the other agents and people donuts and coffee. But then, of course, somebody calls in sick and Uncle Sam has to put her on Air Force One with the president, played by Ian Bohen, who I'll talk about in a second. And of course, terrorists take Air Force One over because there's this energy deal going on with another foreign country and they don't like it. So they want to take out the president and the energy deal. So Miss Miles has to break into action and save the day. And let me tell you, holy cow. Let me just show you. Here's an image right here. It's kind of small, but this movie boasts some pretty kick-ass action sequences. Miss McNamara trained for this movie. Did she ever? She is in there, and I'm sure there's stunt doubles every once in a while, but she's in there doing the fight choreography. And I gave her mad props in the review, and I pissed a lot of people off because I compared the ending to what Scott Adkins did in Universal Soldier: Day of Reckoning. You all remember the end of that movie where he was in the underground corridor? Hallways, taking on Unisouls, and it was basically like a one-shot thing, and it was graphic and grisly, and he's like blowing people's heads off, and he's doing karate and shooting people. As soon as I was watching it, that's the feel I got. Now, is it as good as that one? No, but listen, she did a phenomenal job. The movie came out of nowhere. It had no right to be as good as it was, and I enjoyed it. So sue me. But of course, I had people go, nope. I'm like, okay, boy, I guess you don't like action movies because the action in this movie is solid. There's that, and there's a fight she has. Now, actually, the action on Air Force One, it isn't like a Die Hard on Air Force One movie. That's the thing. They get off Air Force One, and the rest of the movie is on ground. So it's not like the whole movie takes place on Air Force One with them, hiding and sneaking around and fighting terrorists on Air Force One. That does happen, but there's only actually one action sequence on Air Force One before her and the president, played by Ian Bohen. His name's Dallas, by the way. You need a president named Dallas, and he kicks ass at it too. He's a president that has skills too, which I enjoyed. He's not just the president of the United States. This guy can kick some ass too, so I kind of liked it, and I thought they had good chemistry together. But she has a fight with a terrorist on Air Force One that is like 87-11-esque. It's pretty damn good. It's brutal. They're coming at each other with knives. She's getting stabbed. It's a good fight scene, and there's more of that. Now, the main complaint I had, and some people didn't agree with me, but I thought that the pacing kind of screeched to a halt once they got off Air Force One. Now, I get it. You had to have some quieter moments and stuff like that, but I just thought that like they had this momentum going, and it was like breaks, and then it was like, ugh, and then it was like, okay, let's get back. But then the finale more than made up for it because she's just tearing through a gauntlet of terrorists, and she's kicking ass. She's using knives and AK-47s. And here's a behind-the-scene image of her with some of the stunt guys. And I love that picture, because she looks badass. She's hot. I'm not going to lie. I'm single now. I could say she is hot. And there's nothing like a hot chick doing karate and martial arts and kicking ass on film. I'm sorry. I'm a guy. It's a fun time. So, I mean, she's more than that. And she has the attitude too. I also put that in my review where she's like, they get captured and she's strung up. And there's a big, flunky of the head terrorist, and he's a big guy, and he comes in, and she's just hanging there, and she just looks up, she's like, hi. She's got that, like, she knows she's captured, but she doesn't give a shit because she knows she's going to break free. And he takes out this huge knife, and she's just like, nice knife. She has the attitude, too. She not only does she walk the walk, she talks the talk. So she did a really good job in this movie, and I liked it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I stand by my decision. If you don't agree, then tell me why. Because this had some solid action, and like I said, my expectations were 0. And it had no right to be good, and boy, was it. It was the surprise actioner for me so far of 2024. But now let's talk about the one that wasn't a surprise, which is Land of Bad. Holy shit. Wow. I don't know. That's all I can. Thank you for coming. That's all I can say is holy shit. Because, wow, was this a good movie? Oh, my God. So, Land of Bad stars Liam Hemsworth. We all know Liam. He's the brother of Chris Hemsworth, as we all know, is Thor and is more popular. And Russell Crowe. Luke Hemsworth is also in it. And Milo Ventimiglia, who we all know played Stallone's son in Rocky Balboa. He was in Heroes, the TV show. He is phenomenal in this movie too, and I'll get to him in a second. But Land of Bad stars Liam Hemsworth as a green rookie, operative who has not seen combat, who gets tasked with going with tier 1 operators on a mission that goes horribly awry. Shit happens, the shit hits the fan, and they get captured, and all kinds of stuff happens. But he is still out there in the jungles, and he refuses to leave them behind. So it turns into a big battle royale with him trying to save the day, and this rookie soldier, rescuing the elite Delta operators, that he was tasked with operating on this mission. Russell Crowe plays Reaper. Wow, like I said, just like Scott Adkins' character Don the Reaper Richter in Lights Out. Anytime somebody's named Reaper, but he's the drone pilot, and boy does Russell Crowe. I thought this was gonna be one of those movies where it's like, and Russell Crowe, and then it means Russell Crowe's in a movie for like 5 minutes, just so that you can put his name up on the marquee and say, "Yep, Russell Crowe is in it. Come watch our movie." But no, he is in the movie. Now he's in a chair because he's piloting the drone. And now I'm 51. Now back in the 80s, there was a movie called Bat 21, which stars the great Gene Hackman and the great Danny Glover, where Gene Hackman plays an officer in the military who gets shot down, and he has no combat experience, but he has to navigate the jungles in Vietnam. And with Danny Glover, now Danny Glover isn't a drone pilot. Obviously, there was no drones in the 80s, but he's a pilot, and he's helping him out from the sky. So this has that kind of feel to it, and that part I love. So he's Reaper, he's drone pilot. He steals the show. He's got some great lines in it, which I'm not going to give any of them away because I just want you to watch the movie and enjoy it for yourself. But he steals the show. And holy shit, let me say it again. The action in this is phenomenal. We get massive explosions, massive firefights, hand to hand. And like I said, Milo Ventimiglia, he's like, if he wants to be Rambo, God, Stallone, pass the baton to this guy because he is freaking phenomenal in this movie. From a drama standpoint, from a dramatic standpoint, and from an action standpoint. He has a lot of fuck yeah moments in this movie where I was just like, yeah, that's the way. And he stole the show too, and Liam Hemsworth does a great job. Luke obviously is a minor role, so he's not as big of a role as his brother Liam is, but he still has, some say in in his action scenes. But Liam kicks ass, let me tell you. The whole movie just kicks ass. I gave this movie a 4.5. I'm thinking I should have gave it a 5. But sometimes you're just leery of giving a movie a 5 because it's like, does it deserve a 5? Probably. But in any case, it's 4.5. It's one of my favorite movies along with it. So right now, The Beekeeper and Land of Bad, they're jockeying for 1 and 2 for best of 2024 for John Michael Jerva of ACTION-FLIX.com. Holy cow. This is a good movie. You need to check it out. Now, it is playing in theaters. The only problem is it's only playing in select theaters. That means, it's hit or miss whether it's playing near you. And if it's not, well, then you got to... I was fortunate enough to watch it, but then it's playing near me. So I was able to go see it in the theater on the big screen. Panama City Beach is playing it at their theater. So I was like, what? And I was like, I got to go. So I did. And it's phenomenal on the big screen. And if you have the opportunity to see it on the big screen, go do it. It's worth the money because this is one of the best action movies of 2024. So there you go. There is the Action-FLIX courtesy of ACTION-FLIX.com, the weekly intel. And like I said, I wanted to do one a little while ago, which I did not do. But I'm sorry. But like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on, and it's hit or miss day by day what is going to be happening. So yeah. So like I said, with Air Force One down, and like I said, it's not the greatest movie, but I'm like, I had no expectations for this movie. When I saw Catherine McNamara starring in it, I was like, oh, okay. And I'm sorry, Ms. I told her that. I was like, you have my attention. I said that. That was the last slide of my review. I was like, job well done, Ms. McNamara. You have my attention. I would like to see this character, Allison Miles, in another movie in a sequel, because that's how good she is in this movie, and that's how impressed I was by the action sequences. And it had no right to be as good as it was, and it was a good independent, low budget action movie for what they had and the resources that they had. They did a phenomenal job with it. That's all I gotta say. Like I said, if you don't agree with me, then come on the show and tell me why, and I will fight you tooth and nail as to why you're wrong. I'm kidding. Who's wrong? No. Like I said, you know what opinions are like. Everybody's got one, right? All right, so that's it. I'm down to 35 minutes, so this is probably going to be my shortest weekly intel yet. So we talked about Scott Adkins kicking ass on Kickboxer Armageddon. Oh, wow, we have to wait so long for it. Oh, him and Alon Musi centering the ring. That's going to be phenomenal. And of course, we have Ballerina. Not till next year, everybody. But we get the Crow, so I know you're going to go see it. So we're going to be able to either, praise it or rip it apart even sooner, because now it's going to come out this June. So, and then of course we have Land of Bad and Air Force One Down. Check both of those out. Those are decent action movies. With Land of Bad, is it's definitely the top tier one. So it's nail biting, it's suspenseful, it's got blistering, pulse pounding action sequences, and there's nothing like a military action movie that is done well, and this is done very, 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 very well. Oh my God, was this done? Like I said, my review title says it all. It delivers tier 1, visceral and unflinching spec ops adrenaline rush from start to finish. It is. And there's the whole cast. There's Liam, there's Ricky Whittles, there's his brother Luke, and there's, of course, Milo Ventimiglia. That they are just phenomenal in this movie, and I cannot talk about it enough. I hope it gets an audience, because this one deserves it. And it's a shame that it didn't get a wider release, because it probably would have done a lot better than Madam Web last weekend, which I probably will never watch. But hey, that got a wide release, and nobody wanted to freaking like that movie because it's horrible. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure I would agree. Is it worse than Morbius? That's the only clue, or that's the only question, because I hated Morbius. Oh my God, what did I hate it? Boy. But it sounds like it's worse than Morbius. So, so that movie got released wide, but then this movie is going to be fighting for an audience, and this is a freaking awesome action movie. So what are you going to do? The powers that be sometimes do not know what the hell they're. And plus, it has Russell Crowe in it. I mean, you got somebody in Russell Crowe. I mean, I know he's he's not like Russell Crowe from Gladiator, but he's still Russell Crowe. He's still a great actor, a phenomenal actor. And anytime you put him in a movie, it just elevates it. And like I said, he steals the movie. So there you go. There's my weekly intel for today. So join me tonight when we talk about the Transporter versus the Beekeeper. We got Jason Statham's first against his latest. So that should be a good time. That fat samurai guy who I love, he's a great guy, has been checking in on me, ever since my issues and everything. So I can't thank him enough. Not only is he a great guy in the action community, but he's a good friend altogether. So I'm going to do his show tonight and talk about my boy, Jason Statham. Like I said, I already know what I'm going to say. I love both movies. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick one, then, I think you guys already know what I'm going to pick because of, what I've been talking about. But you just have to tune in tonight and see what we do. All right, so that's tonight. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific time, which is 7 o'clock Central time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Got it? So 5 Pacific, 7 Central, which is where I'm at, and then 8 Eastern time. And I believe Owen Frill's going to be on too again. So yeah, so my boy's going to be on there, and if you notice, he put a pause on the Action Elite Live because he's got some busy stuff going on with work and stuff like that. So, he's got some things going on. So he's not going to do one for a while, which kind of sucks, because it's kind of fun. Because I was actually, I had shown up for the last 4 or 5. And we had just talked about Masters of the Universe. So that, this is like my therapy, like with everything that's going on in my life, in my shoulder and work and being out of work and stuff like that, and probably having to have surgery again. This is my therapy. So like doing this stuff and talking to you guys and talking to people about action movies, this is what's keeping me going. Besides my daughter, Bailey, God bless her. I love her so much. But I don't have her. Right now. I get her back next week. So until then, this is what I'm doing. I'm just, plugging ahead and trying to stay positive and watching action movies. So I'm going to go watch The Transporter again to get myself revved up and watch The Beekeeper because I always like to do it like right before I do the show. That way they're both fresh in my mind. Especially the Beekeeper, because I think I've only seen it twice. I saw it once in the theater and then once when it came to digital. And then I've seen the Transporter 1,000 times, but I have not seen it in a long while. So it'll be good to refresh my memory. I know he has more hair in the Transporter than he does. You know, we all know that he was trying to keep, like me, he was trying to keep the hair for a while. Then he was like, fuck it. And he just shaved it off. So best decision ever. Why not? Just get rid of it. You know, so the only thing is like your bald spot, you know, shows the light from the sun. So that's why I'm always wearing a cap. So you can see the light, the brightness behind me because I have my window right behind me. It's another sunny day here. Not as hot. It's still only like in the 50s and the 60s, but it is nice and sunny out. So you can see that behind me. All right. So until next time. So we got Scott Adkins doing a lot of stuff. Catherine McNamara, give her a shot. Give her a chance. She did a good job. I mean, come on. Like, just don't like say it sucks before you watch it. It's not the greatest movie, but it sure is a pretty damn good time waster, and it's got some great action scenes, and she is pretty damn kick-ass in it. And of course, Land of Bad. Can't say enough good things about it. I just can't stop talking about it. All right. So until next time, this is John with ACTION-FLIX.com and the Weekly Intel telling you to like and subscribe. That's right, on my YouTube channel. So we're live right now on YouTube as well as Facebook and X, also known as Twitter. And of course, check out the new and improved ACTION-FLIX.com, which I have been showing you guys. That I did a couple weeks ago. As you can see, I like how it does that now. That's super cool. So the new and improved ACTION-FLIX.com, you know, you got the animation going. Oh, I forgot to talk about Blood Hunt. Oh, God, hang on. Thank you, ACTION-FLIX.com, for doing that. Hang on, give me 1 second here. So yeah, so Marvel announced last October that they're going to be doing, Marvel Comics was going to be doing this big crossover event called Blood Hunt, where vampires are trying to take over the world and our elite superheroes, the Avengers and everybody, fights them. Boy, is this ambitious. Let me tell you, holy cow. I cannot. All right. You all remember like back in the 80s, like for guys as old as me, they did Marvel's Secret Wars, which was like a 12-issue miniseries. And of course, there was Civil War. Like crossover events are like when something's so big and there's a threat so big where it crosses over into all the different titles of the Marvel universe or DC. DC's done it too. And this one's called Blood Hunt. And there's the graphic for the first one. Let me get this off the screen. That's number one. So Blood Hunt. I'm excited for Blade. I want to see what Blade does, you know, fighting the vampire, because you don't know when there's vampires threatening the world. Call the man, right? Call the Daywalker. But Blood Hunt is okay. So here's the thing. You got the only problem with Blood Hunt, it comes from writer Jed McKay as well as X-Men artist Pepe Larraz and Marty Garcia. Holy cow. This is the graphic I want to put up. This is what it entails. So you got the 5-issue limited series, which not only comes in a more PG-13, it also comes in a red band version. So they're also releasing the 5 issues with more graphic violence. Then for a free comic book day this May, you got a free issue coming out for Blood Hunt. Then you got all these tie-ins, and then Blood Hunt spilling over into all of these ongoing regular titles. And the Marvel is saying that when it all is said and done, it runs from May until July. It's going to cover 59 issues. Excuse me. Now, we all know that comic books aren't 99 cents anymore. So they're like $4.99. So like you get, like me, I'm going to pick and choose. Obviously, I'm going to go for the 5-issue limited series as well as some of the one-shots and stuff like that. But I mean, you got to draw a line. I mean, you know, I might try digital. I don't know. I'm still kind of hesitant on that because I like, you know, actually having the book in my hand. But we all know that, you know, like, especially now, it's like, I'm probably going to have surgery on my shoulder and I'm out of work for, I don't know how long. It's like, I can't, well, let me spend over like $300 in comic books. It's like, no, I got bills to pay, a rent to pay, and and daughters to take care of. It's like, so I can't just go to the comic book store and buy like everything, but I will check it out. So yeah, that's coming this May and it goes until July. So you got the 5-issue limited series and the tie-ins, the one-shots, and the limited series like that are 3 issues long, and it's like 59 issues when all is said and done between all of that. So it's ambitious. There you go. So that's the last thing that I want to talk about is Blood Hunt. And and there's all that. And real quick, let me just show you. Black Panther turns into a vampire. Hope they can save him. And then here's the issues. I like this one, Midnight Suns. You got Blade and Ghost Rider. Blood Hunters looks cool. Strange Academy. I'm not familiar with that one. So you got those, and then you got the ongoing. You got the Amazing Spider-Man, Wolverine, which I'm definitely gonna get Wolverine. I'm a big Wolverine fan, so yeah, anytime he's leaping into the mouth of a vampire, yeah, you gotta check that shit out. You got Moon Knight, which I love. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the Avengers, and of course more Spider-Man. And the Fantastic Four. We all know the news with the Fantastic Four cast announcement, so they're pretty hot right now. And of course Venom. Yep. So there you go. So yeah, so that's Blood Hunt. Can't be more excited about that. And of course, we also this summer have Get Fury, which has Garth Ennis's return to the Punisher, where he has Nick Fury captured by the Viet Cong, and the Punisher gets tasked. Well, he's not the Punisher per se now. He's Frank Castle. He hasn't become the Punisher because this is during Vietnam. Oh God, dude. Borderlands. How can I forget Borderlands? Oh, let's hang on a second. Let's do that. Borderlands. Let's watch the trailer for Borderlands while I'm here. So I watched it once and I did an article for it, but let's check it out together, shall we?
Uh-oh. God, I hate this planet. Would you look at that? A ladder! Unfortunately, my design doesn't facilitate this type of...
Well, destiny awaits.
Legend has it that there's this massive treasure hidden in some secret vault. And if you go hunting for it, you'd better take any help you can get.
It's got a sensational cast. Can't deny it.
Because it's on the weirdest, most dangerous dumpster fire of a world in the universe.
God, I hate this planet.
What is that smell?
Piss wash color.
Ew!
Put the window up.
I don't want to! Roll the window up!
Roll it up. It's pee. It's pee. Why do you think it's called piss wash? How did it get the name?
It's in my mouth!
Do you know how many people have died looking for this vault?
We have something they don't, baby girl.
Okay. What?
Major issues. Time to make it rain with your body parts.
What did I tell you?
Minimal
No
explosions.
I said no explosions.
Step aside, bitches!
Ooh, mine's bigger.
What are you doing? I needed a gun. So you asked for it.
There's only one of you in the world, and you're special.
Uh-oh.
Kill them all.
I mean, it looks fun. It looks.
What's happening right now?
I'm expelling the excess lead. I can't go if you're looking at me. Ooh, actually, scrap that. I can. I really can. Actually, it's helping.
Are we really waiting for this to finish?
Keep looking at me.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Here's the thing with this. All right. So I am not a video gamer. You all know that. I mean, I have played video games. So in terms of playing the game Borderlands, I have not. So I have not really known a lot about the world of Borderlands. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the advertisements for the games and stuff like that. But I think I'm in a better spot than super fans of the game are, because super fans of the game are going to go into this and they're going to have high expectations. I don't. It looks like it has a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to it. You know, they got the Electric Light Orchestra playing in the background, kind of similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's got that going for it. It looks funny as hell. You got Jack Black, you know, the voice of Jack Black, Kate Blanchett doing a role that she doesn't normally do. You know, she's kicking ass. She's got the John Woo double gun action going. Kevin Hart's funny in anything he does. He could be in the worst movie ever and still be hilarious. You got Florian Maranello from Creed 2, which, you know, his face is covered, but, you know, it is what it is. And it just looks funny. It looks like a good time. You know, you got the CGI. You know, you're not going to, duh. You know, you got to do CGI in a movie like this. But it just looks like it has some cool action, some great visuals. And the cast looks like they were all in. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis grabbing a gun. You know, it's like, it just looks fun. It does. I'm going to go watch it. And like I said, I think I'm in a good spot because, you know, as a person who does not play the game, I'm going in just watching it from a movie aspect where people who played the game are going to be like, oh, this, that. You know, they're going to be kind of dissecting it and picking it apart where I am not. I'm just going to go in and say, hey, did I like this movie? And did it promise me what it did, which looks like it will? Yes, there you go. All right. So I'm sorry I almost forgot about that too. Like I said, I've had a lot on my mind. But I'm pretty positive that was the last thing I had to go over on this week of the weekly intel. So now we're at 51 minutes. So there you go. What am I going to do? I look excited, don't I? But most of it is because I'm in such pain. You have no idea how much this hurts. Like, you know, I'm not even doing anything with it. Like, I'm just sitting here, like, talking to you, and it sucks so bad. Anyways, there you go. That's the weekly intel for this week. I'm John, ACTION-FLIX.com. Like I said, don't forget to check out my website, my new and improved website. You know, there it is right there with the. I love how it looks now. Like I said, I had gone over 3 or 4 different designs in the last month, and I finally like this. You know, you got, you know, the Essential Adkins, which, you know, is animated too. And I got exclusive interviews. Where again, I haven't done one in a while. Chad Michael Collins, I just did, as you can see, for the ACTION-FLIX Live podcast a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I've not done a lot in terms of interviews, so hopefully that'll change. And I just like the way this whole website looks. It just looks like it belongs with the big boys. Oh, then you got Civil War. Okay. I swear to God, this is the last thing I got to go. Oh, this is. I'm so unprepared for this one. So Civil War, which kind of hits close to home right now with all the crap that's going on with Donald Trump and this and that, and a movie about, you know, Americans fighting each other like the Civil War. So that's basically what it is. It takes place. It's about Kirsten Dunst, who we all know from the original Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man movie. Stars as a reporter who gets swept up as different factions of the United States. 19 states secede from the United States, and it declares all-out war. So you got, you know, Americans fighting Americans, and she's a reporter who gets swept up in the middle of it. So let's watch the trailer for this one.
Citizens of America.
People of the Florida Alliance.
You gotta move! And the Western forces of Texas and California will be welcomed back to these United States as soon as their illegal secessionist government is deposed.
You don't know what side they're fighting for. Someone's trying to kill us. We are trying to kill them.
I love that. I love that line. That's a great line. Somebody's trying to kill us. We're trying to kill them. Oh, and this is haunting. Somebody whistling America the Beautiful. It's powerful. It's impactful is what it is. Wow. Like I said, like way too close to home with that one. But I mean, I'm being positive and thinking that the United States will never get that bad. I mean, I have a daughter and I really want her to have a good future. So, but it looks, I mean, the battle sequences look great. The scene of the tracer fire coming out into the night. Wow. And like, just like I said, the whistling of America the Beautiful, it's just haunting with the visuals. And you got the American military fighting the separatists, and it looks like a very powerful movie. And it came out of nowhere for me because I think there was another trailer that came out earlier, like I said, when I wasn't doing the website at the time. So yeah, so I shared this one on the site. So yeah, there you go. That comes out April, I believe. Hang on, let me get to the article again. Yep, April 12th. So yeah, so it comes out April 12th. There you go. So again, there's Kirsten Dunst, who you don't see a lot of in the, you see her in the trailer, but it's more or less, just, and I love the poster where you got the soldiers taking aim on the Statue of Liberty. That's pretty powerful stuff right there as well. So yeah, so it's the total opposite of what Borderlands was. Like, you got Borderlands where you're laughing your ass off, and in this one you just want to drink because it looks depressing. But wow, what are you gonna do? All right, so there we go. We're coming up to an hour, so I think that's everything. Next time I'll be more prepared, like I said. And I'm going to try to do actual just posts or videos on YouTube where I just do trailer reactions, and that's it. Because I've been doing the trailer reactions on the Weekly Intel, and they kind of get lost, because, unless you watch the Weekly Intel, you're not going to see it. So I might do separate videos for, reactions, but those trailers have been out already, so it'd be kind of stupid to do them now. So the next big one, I would just do a separate trailer reaction for it, because like I said, I'm just starting to get back into the swing of things, and I've had a lot on my mind, let me tell you. And I got the site looking the way I wanted to. I got some good things coming up in terms of that, so hopefully my personal life gets revved up, and gets going, and everything like that. So until next time, lock and load. And once again, I forgot Mr. Schwarzenegger. I apologize. I got to remember to do that. Yep. I'm pissing myself off is what it is. But I did do my stretches. Yep. But Frank doesn't approve. He's like, come on, John, get with the program. He's like, you're better than that. I know I am, but like I said, I don't get paid to do this, people. I'm just doing it. Well, I kind of do. Like, you want to know how much money I made on the site in that last month? You don't want to know because it's depressing. Because it's like, I might be able to buy one of the Blunt Hunt comic books with it. So I'm hoping to change that too, because I really want to do this more full time. And the only way to really do that is like you're making an income from it. And I'm just trying to get things, squared away. And I'm just trying to get out there. Like, I mean, I have like over 30,000 followers on Facebook. I mean, I'm still having crack 2,000 on Twitter or X or on Instagram. So it's like, it is what it is. Like I said, I can't just to make money. You got to spend money. But right now it's like, I can't, it's like, I got to pay for the website, which I just did before I went on leave. And then, doing the YouTube thing, that costs money every month. So it's not the easiest thing to do. But like I said, I've been doing it for 9 years and it survived my marriage, which it did not survive. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, I'm trying to do what I can do. I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to be one of the voices of action cinema. If anything, to promote the little guys, the independent action cinema and physical media, which leads me to my last announcement. I just got these. So I'm going to be announcing the contest for 1% Warrior, which is the newest movie from Tack Sakaguchi, the great Japanese action star who we all know, like Brett Favre, retired and then he came back. So I got Blu-rays for 1%er that I'm going to be announcing. And you all know the drill. When I announce it, you send me an email It's just like I've always, I make you work for it. So I'm going to ask you a question that you got to answer in order to be qualified to enter the Blu-ray contest. And I'm going to have more Blu-ray contests coming in the future. And let me say, this is from the great people at Well Go USA. They always take good care of me. Love it. So yeah, I have not seen this one yet. So I have a review copy too to watch. This is mine actually. This is my review copy and I'm super excited to watch it because his Reborn movie was one of my favorites. His Crazy Samurai, Musashi, was kind of like the 77-minute samurai one take sequence got a little redundant, like with him smacking guys in the head and stuff like that. But I still enjoyed it. But this one looks like a lot like, Reborn with like CQB action, his fighting style, the tactical combat, martial art that's in it. So really super excited about that one. I've been promoting it heavily when it was doing the festival circuit, and now it's finally coming to the States. It was released in Japan, of course. The UK is releasing it on Blu-ray. I did an article about that, but now Well Go USA, the great people at Well Go USA, are releasing it on March 12th. So yeah, so we got a couple weeks away for the contest, but keep in mind that is coming too. So we got the official Blu-ray contest for 1% Warrior, or it's also called 1%er. That's the original title, is 1%er, but in America, we changed the name to action movies. So that way, 1% Warrior. So now you got Warrior. It's like, ooh, it's an action movie. Because if you say 1%er, everybody's like, it doesn't sound like an action movie. And I get it. I understand. So it's like, I get why they do name changes. So it is what it is. But I can still call it 1%er because that's what it's technically called. So yeah, so there you go. All right. So I think that is it. I hope that is it. I'm pretty sure that is it. So yeah, so just like Scott Adkins, there you go. Man's busy. And here, no, I didn't mean it like that. So I didn't mean it like that. I forgot that he said that in there. But yeah, that was the go with Jason Statham tonight. I'm on That Fat Samurai Guys versus show where we're going to be talking about which is better, the Transporter with Jason Statham, which was his inauguration into the world of action cinema, or the Beekeeper, which is his latest release in action cinema and quite possibly one of his best movies ever, and definitely one of the best, if not the best, action movies of 2024. So that's tonight at 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Got it? So wherever you live, those are the times. So until then, this is John signing off for the Weekly Intel. Lock and load, tack up, jock up, whatever you want to say. Exciting things are happening. I know with the writer and actor strike last year, a lot of stuff is delayed still again. But we're still getting some good independent stuff coming out. And we got Wolverine, we got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out this summer. Super excited. So there are still things to get excited about. Now we got The Crow coming out in June. So we can talk about that in June. Won't that be exciting to see all the naysayers? Will I be one of them? You never know. Like I said, the original with Brandon Lee is a classic. So, it's going to be hard to top it. And he's not, no offense to Bill Skarsgård, great, amazing actor, but he's not going to beat Brandon Lee. And he was just phenomenal in that movie. Okay, so there you go. So until next time, be kind to one another. And like I said, always treat others as you would want to be treated. Just be nice to everybody. There's enough shit in the world. Let's just talk action and have a good time and just be there for one another. All right, until next time, everybody, have a good day.